In this video, we're going to be making an animation like this. So let's begin. Composition new. What I have right here works totally fine. The background color is really up to you. I wanted to do black so I can make a pop. The duration is 10 seconds, resolution half, frame rate is 30. I'm going to push OK. So automatically, because I have black as my background, it is going to stay black. So to start off with, I'm going to type out my word. For this, remember, each of your words have to be on a separate layer. I'm coming over here, and you will see character. If you don't see character, just come down here to window, character, and it will pop up on the right side. So I'm just doing Avenir black, and I'm doing just the size that I like. You can pick your color here. So again, it doesn't necessarily have to be white. If I want to move it, I have to come back here to my V tool. You can't really do a hotkey with this because if you do, it will put in the V. That's just one of the side effects that I found in every program. Now, unlike the first video I showed you with the transformation tools where you can just click and move that sort of anchor point in the middle here, for this, what you actually have to do to move this in the middle to make all these transformations work correctly is hold down Option Command on your computer and then come up here to the pan behind. And this will give you control to be able to move that point system. And then I'm going to come back to my V and just get that right there. Again with my type tool. So again, coming over to my move tool, I'm going to move this up a little bit because I sort of want them to stay all centered. And then I'm going to do Option Command, pan behind, and then go ahead and move that. So again, all the effects are coming from the middle. And there we go. So now I have my words done here. The most important thing here is to have them on different layers. Okay. Now to create that ring, I'm going to come up to my ellipse tool, Q on your keyboard, holding down Shift to keep it in proportion. And I'm just moving it sort of in the center here. I think that's good. Now, yours will probably come in as a fill. So it will probably look something like that and probably not even have a stroke on it. So all you have to do is come over to fill and come over here to the none and then click OK. Come to your stroke, have that color, and then, you know, if you want it bigger or smaller, that's really up to you. We'll keep it at 20. All right, so that is the first step. This one with the stay. The hotkey for scale is S, so you can push that. So I'm going to start off with pressing again the stopwatch, the time. And so here I want it to be at 0%. So it looks like it's coming in invisible. And then maybe about 2 seconds in, I'm going to have it at 100%. So if I scrub back and play that back. Now a new feature to work with this, it's called Easy Ease. So think of it like the smooth tool in Illustrator where you're trying to smooth out a line. It just makes everything flow a little bit better. It's a great add-on. With both of these selected, I'm just going to click, shift, click. Then right click and go to Keyframe Assistant and just go to Easy Ease, and they're going to change into a different icon. All right, so we're going to go to Humble next, and that is going to be with opacity. So opacity, funny enough, is T. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure that stay is right there. It's up there now, and then I'm going to have Humble coming in, so each word will come in after one another. So I'm going to start with the stopwatch, 0, move a little bit down the lane here, we'll go right there, and then pump that up to 100. select again, and then go to Keyframe, Assistant, Easy Ease. All right, so for the work one, we're going to be doing it a little bit differently. Scale again though, and let's see, I believe that's where, yeah, about right there, we'll start work. And I'm actually going to make it look like it's squeezing from the middle. Instead of scaling out, it's going to sort of like have a squeezing understanding. And I'm actually going to unlock both of these. Usually they're locked, and that's fine, that works. But this time we're going to unlock it. I'm going to start my stopwatch, and I'm going to go and head towards the left if you want to. So there we go, 0. And then let's see, when I get to here, I'll go back to 100. And there we go. So that's a fun way to work with. So far, okay. But we're going to make the work bounce a little bit. We're going to give it some extra energy. So first what we want to do again is Easy Ease. So here we go, Keyframe Assistant, Easy Ease. Then what we're going to do, these are both still selected since they're in the blue, we're going to come up here to this graph editor. And I want to click on the red here, and I want to come down here to convert selected keyframes to auto Bezier. And what we're going to do, we're going to bring this handlebar, sort of just like when we're working with the pen tool in Illustrator, I'm going to bring this up past that green line. Okay, and you can see the green is loading to make sure it's recognizing what you're going to be doing. And then if we look at work again, you see how it bounced right there? That was because of this. So, right like that. So that can definitely add another jump in the step to your animation, which is great. So again, I highlighted both of them. I went to Graph Editor. I came down here so I knew where my handlebars were. And then I worked the red line above the green line. And again, depending on how far you go is how big of a bounce you can get. And also the time that you allot for that action as well will help. So going to the hard one, this one is position, so go ahead and hit P on the keyboard. And again, I want it to come up after the work. There we go. So we'll start it basically right there. So I'm going to start this off the frame, and it's going to drag into the frame. So I'm taking the right side of this, okay, and I'm dragging to the right, which is going to go straight down. And then that's when I'm going to hit my stopwatch. That's where I want it to start. And then I'm going to come back up here, and I'm just going to drag it right back to the left. You can have some fun with this, but I just want an up and down simple motion here. Easy Ease again. All right, so we're done all of those. So now we're going to go to our Shape 1 layer, which you can rename if you want to. So I'm going to do circle. Okay, so I'm twirling down, and contents, if that's up, twirl that down, do ellipse 1, and then you're going to come to over here to the Add button, and you're going to go Trim Paths. And then under Trim Paths, it will add that option down here under Transform Ellipse. So I'm going to actually end it. So stop my stopwatch here and put it in 0. And then move it on down the timeline. And then have the end up to 100. And again, we can do Easy Ease. Bring that back up. And then the last thing we're going to be doing is the radial, so the wave motions. Come down here to where it's gray in your Layers panel. And right click for New, Solid. My circle, so relabel it if you want. And then click OK. And then come up to Window and do Effects and Presets. And it will pop up over here. And I'm going to be looking for something called Radio Waves. And there it is right there. And all I have to then do is just plop it right into place. Now over here is the control panel. And so there are some things that you might want to change on here. So what you want to do, or what I found to be good, is to set the frequency to 4, the expansion to 25, the lifespan, there we go, to 1.2, the opacity to 0.25. This is on a 0 to 1 meter there. Let's start that at 20 and then end with 1. This is all experimentation as well, and I am going to change the color. So come here, find this so you can already see. So if I went with red, so you can, I mean, again, it's any color you want, but I want it to match the blue. So there we go. So I can have it at the very beginning, or what I can do, I can actually shift this whole thing over. So right here, so this whole bar I can shift over if I want to. There you go. All right, and last but not least, we're going to be adding some music. So there are plenty of places you can find music. I like YouTube since we're going to be hosting on there anyways. So I honestly just Googled YouTube music free, and I had to sign into my own account, but it will take you to the audio library, and all of these are done for free. So this is the one I picked, just for this example, but you can go ahead and there's even sound effects, there's free music, there's tons of it on here. You can edit it slightly in the program. It's not as strong as maybe actual music editor, but it's easy enough to get, so I just downloaded it, it came up here, I pulled it up. So in After Effects, what I would do is, let's see, come up to File, Import, File, come up to my Honey MP3, and then drag that down. And then in the beginning of this, I really didn't like that part so much. I really liked when it got more to right there. So I actually just dragged this in and started there, and then I knew I had enough of my timeline that it would finish out perfectly and even pass, so I wasn't really worried about that. So there we go. So there's the whole animation, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to export, add to render queue. Everything's fine here. Let's render it. All right, and play. All right, so again, reviewed just the normal transformations, showing you some shortcuts there. Also introducing you to trim pass with the circle and dividing that up, along with radio waves and introduction to Easy Ease and a graph editor.